Right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. I hope you're all having a lovely day. I'm having a good day. We're going to start off the day right with some PI discussions. This is being recorded, so if I'm not really responsive on things, that's why. So, without further ado, PI, planetary interaction, is the way that we can put down little command centers on the various planets in EVE Online and extract various resources from them. This is particularly important to Goonswarm right now because after the move, all of the infrastructure stuff, all of these citadels, all of the skyhooks, all of everything just takes tons and tons and tons of PI. You just suck it up like crazy. So right now, we need tons and tons of it, and it's very valuable, and you can make a lot of ISK doing it. So the first thing we're going to talk about is hauling ships. Before the Upwell haulers, these were the end-all be-all for PI, the Epithal. Part of the reason these are so good for it is they have a planetary command center hold, where you can put command centers, tons and tons and tons of them, because the command centers take up quite a bit of space. They also have planetary commodities holds that'll hold PI goo for very, very little. So with practically zero skills, no T2 stuff, you can fit out an Epithal and use it. Now, with the introduction of the Upwell haulers, they also have these infrastructure holds, which will hold PI goo. I'm not sure if they'll hold command centers, but they've got primary holds for you to do that. So I absolutely recommend the Epithal still because I'm a traditionalist, And I fit mine for cutting down the align speed down as low as humanly possible. You can fit these hyperspatial, you can fit these several ways. They don't really particularly matter because you're very rarely off tether. That being said, I do recommend, and we'll get to it when we start talking about factory planets, the character that you're going to use for your factory planets should have a deluge, because there's, that's the person that's going to be in space longest and potentially the hauling the highest value cargo. Having a blockade runner that can do that is chef's kiss. Very, very cool. So that one exception, put it in a blockade runner, in a deluge, and call it a day. So we've got this setup, and the first setup we're going to talk about is single planet P2s. Now, planetary interaction, first mostly, you're going to want to get a calculator. Calculators make figuring out what you're going to be doing so much easier. So this is the one that I use. It's from EWT. I like this one. Please ignore the blur layer. I use EWT because it's really intuitive and it's really, really simple to figure out, and it doesn't keep any records. It's all volatile. It doesn't keep any records, so nobody's figuring out through some back-end scraping tool what I'm doing. So you'll notice there are a few cases where a single planet can make all of a P2. So these are broken down into P0s in this column that get transmitted or transmuted to P1s, and then 2 P1s equals a P2, 2 P2s equals a P3, and 3 P3s equals a P4. So for our first discussion, we're going to just start making some transmitters with a single character. So looking at that, I can see I need either a plasma planet, which can do plasmoids and chiral structures, or a lava planet that can do plasmoids and chiral structures. So with that in mind, move that off to the side. I've got a command center for plasmoid, and I'm going to put it in my planetary command hold. Not commodities, command centers. Haha. And I'm going to undock. You don't have to undock for this step, but you're going to undock anyways, so you might as well. Once I'm undocked, I'm going to stop my ship because I want to take and abuse tether. Up here in the upper right, or excuse me, upper left, you go to your agency tab. And you'll go to the middle where it says resource harvesting, planets, and then planetary industry. So right now, I know that I want to look for a plasma planet. And I see, no, I don't want storms. No storms, just plasma. I can see that I have a plasma planet, number 2, in system. I can see that it's got 37% suspended plasma and 39% chiral structures. The higher these values are, the better off you are. So at one jump, I have another plasma, 30% plasma, but 51% crystals. So I think I'm going to use that one instead of the one that's local. So we want to zip over there. We'll minimize that for the moment. And away we go. You'll notice there's some newts just popped in here too, so we want to be careful of that, which I may have just fed myself to them. Let's hope not. Valente Federation, huh? So these faction warfare guys? Wonder what they're doing. They seem lost. Anyways, alright, so we'll go and post up on this Fortizar here. Open our agency back up. And you'll see right here this little, looks like a little icon of Saturn. So we'll click on that, and that'll bring up the world itself. So right now, we need to look for a place that has both good non-CS crystals and suspended plasma. It looks like we're gonna be a little restricted for that. It looks like the poles are gonna be my best bet. All right. So first mostly, we got to drop our command center. And it doesn't matter at all where we put this, because we're not going to use it. So for single planet to P2s, you want to have planetary upgrades 5, or command center upgrades 5, because these are going to be command limited when you set these up. So click that all the way in, hit upgrade, and click submit so you get as much as you possibly can. So we're going to start laying this out. First mostly, the reason you're not going to use your command center is the storage they give you is very small. So everything's going to be based out of a launch pad. So the first thing you want to put down is a launch pad. Let that go away. Second thing you're going to want is a place to make your P2s. So you're going to want one advanced factory, that's these industrial facilities, on either side of this. So one side is going to be pulling in the plasma, and one side is going to be pulling in and processing the crystals. So go ahead and submit that. You click on this and you say, again, pull up your calculator so you know what you're making. Transmitters. So create a transmitter and you click install. Now before you do anything, you want to click on where it says routes, and you want to route this. Oh, come on. So click on routes. Or no, excuse me, it's products. So you click on products and create route. And then you'll notice that it says cannot create that route. There's no infrastructure, because I am getting ahead of myself. So you need to create links between all of these things. And then submit. And then you can route the product, these transmitters. Then you do the same thing again. Create route. And there. Okay. So now you need 2 basic industry. Create the links. And submit. One of them is going to be making chiral structures, or actually both of these will be making chiral structures. And they're going to be dumping into there. And these ones are going to be making plasmoids. And create route. And submit. So now these guys are feeding into that. The next thing you need are extractor heads. So one on each side. And create links. Now don't feel like you have to create both sides of this link. It will route around just fine. So this one was my churl structures. So I know I need to be gathering non-CS crystals. Okay, we'll see if we can get 12 total. And you can set these for however much time you want. And I'm going to reach him out over here. And just like that, you'll see these numbers here will give you an idea, along with this slope, of what your input totals are going to be for this 2-day run. And you'll notice this is down 27,000. That's a little low, but it's not the end of the world. All right, so start extraction and submit. And then the exact same thing, except for this time we're not doing churl structures. Now we're doing plasmoids. We're going to put it for a couple of days. We're going to install 6 of these. Probably could get a 7th one if we really wanted. And close enough. Start and submit. Now there's one more thing we got to do. We got to route that. Create route. Go into that one. And don't forget, you've got 2 of them. Create route going to that one. Same thing. And submit. Now why aren't these missing inputs? So we routed the closest ones, but we didn't route the furthest ones. So we need to create routes, so products. What am I doing? Oh, because I need 4 of them per. You're absolutely right, Froggy. Absolutely right. So now we need 2 more basic industry per side. That's what I did wrong. So one of these actually needs to be going instead of to the local. So we're going to delete this route. And that needs to go over there. Same thing. Delete route. And it goes to that guy. There we go. Slow frog at play. Gotta remember how to do these things. All right, so now we've got extractors pulling, but they're not routed. Oh, it's because it's got excess. It's gonna have excess. Don't worry about it. These are not the most efficient. These ones just kind of plug along. Then once it gets to here, it'll just start stockpiling up here. Let's see if we can... Yeah, so okay. Now what you want to do with this is you want to save it as a template. And you want to give it some information. So this is a plasma P2 transmitter setup. And we're going to save that. Now what I can do, if I want to, I'm going to open up a mail. I'm going to send it to Froggy Storm. I got a Plasma T2 transmitter. And then I can just drag this and drop it, and it becomes a link. And I'm going to send that mail. We'll go ahead and switch over to Froggy, who just got a mail. And I can save that template. And now I can then use that template wherever I want. So that's going to just start cooking. And I'm going to head him back. I'm going to show you what it looks like to just deploy that. So on Froggy, I'm going to take and I'm going to grab another Plasma Command Center. And I'm going to drop that in my Command Center hold and undock. Okay. So let's get Moon Froggy safe before we just leave him out in the wind. One thing I do recommend, that this is a very scalable activity. So if you've got lots of alts, use lots of alts. So we go again to the agency, resource harvesting, planets, planetary industry. And we're only looking for plasma. There's the one in the system. Okay, so now we've got this templates. So we go to open templates, and we've got this P2 transmitter that we talked about. So it says I don't have a command center. That's fine. I'm gonna drop a command center then. Oh, that's white. If you're like Froggy and you have tons and tons of old PI, here's an important step. All my old PI is still sitting there, so I gotta destroy it all. To do that, you open it up, you right click on the, or you click on the command center and decommission. And submit, and it goes away. And you'll have to do this for all of them because the system is awful, but that's okay. And yes, chat, you're absolutely right. Why didn't he do this ahead of time? That's a great question. Because he wasn't thinking, and he's not a great streamer. So you click down into him and you decommission all this stuff. Okay. So let's try this again, shall we? I've got the local plasma station, or plasma planet. Click on the little Saturn icon. And we need to place a command center, and it doesn't matter where. And we need to upgrade it. You'll notice this character can only upgrade to 4. That's going to be a real problem. So he is not going to be ideal for this, but that's okay. It'll still work out. And submit. And now we've got space. So we open the template and we're going to load it. And it's going to say, here you go. And it's got this new positioning window. Ugh, why did it do it that way? What a mess. It's got it really borked up. Let's see if the other one's better. So we don't place that down. Let's see if the other template loads cleaner. No, and it didn't load any cleaner at all. But that's fine. We'll just kind of work with it, I guess. I don't know why. So we need to go over to scan, and we need to find, again, where the non-CS and the suspended plasma is. And it looks like it's kind of the same thing where, let's see if there's a better spot for it. Yeah, it looks like there's a better spot for it. So you can see these little lines, I can move it around to get it into position. So I'm going to confirm and install. And I don't like it, but it is what it is. I think it has to do with the planet radius, as the planet radiuses change. So I'm actually going to not install any of this stuff. I'm going to put it back as a single unit like I wanted. So again, Launchpad, an advanced industry, 2 basics, and an extractor. Submit. So let's make sure we've got, okay, so this looks to be pulling in the chiral side. So let's go ahead and put up, click on non-CS crystals. Set it for about 2 days. You can see this is not ideal, but you get the idea. I'm not going to be keeping this one, so it's fine. You'll also notice that I only put 5 heads on each side. So this side is pulling plasmoids. Set it for a couple of days. And then we've got to route all of these. So, products. Oh, it didn't go in because I'm an idiot. Alright, do it again. So plasmoids. A couple of days. And start extraction. And submit. So now it's got products. Create those routes. We got to do it backwards. Froggy, quit hitting buttons at random. So, we're making transmitters. This guy, create route. Let's go into there. This guy is making plasmoids. Create route. It's going to there. This guy's making plasmoids. Create route, and it's going to there. And then products. Route these into both of those. And voila. Still a little bit of effort, a little bit of clicking, a little bit of buttons, but generally speaking, piece of cake. Okay, so that's one means. That's the general, if you're not going to invest a ton of time and tons of characters, that's the quickest way to immediately start making useful products. And then you don't upgrade them any further. You don't do anything fancy with them. You just start selling them out from there. Oh, and I've got some pings. Let's make sure. That, yeah, don't know. Okay, so we'll go ahead and dock him back up for the time being. And we're going to reference back to our planetary calculator. Again, there's lots of them out there. I just happen to use EWT. And I want to make integrity response drones. So I can see, based on that, I need lots and lots of everything. But I can start tracking it back and seeing these things. So in theory, I think there's most of these, you can do them on single planet to get all of your P2s. But it's not very efficient. It's just not a very good plan. And you're limited by finding planets that have high enough in all of those things. So instead, I'm going to do something called strip mining. So let's get rid of all of the things we have saved up. And the first thing we want to do is start looking at biocells. So for my integrity response drones, I know that I'm going to have to make biocells. Biocells come from carbon, compounds, and precious metals. So for precious metals, I can see they come from either plasma planets or barren planets. So I'm going to look and see in my close proximity what's the best planet that has that goo on it. So we're going to stop our ship, go back to the agency, and we were looking for noble metals. So we know plasma is one of them, and the other one is barren. So I got tons and tons in a couple of jumps to choose from. Just infinite choices. So we're going to be looking here. Noble metals, 42. Noble metals, 62. 42, 39, 35, 48, 36. You get the idea. So you go through and you find the one you want. But I'm pretty certain, unless something really jumps up. Oops, 76. So this one's going to be probably my best bet. And then some. 76 versus 62. So that answers that, doesn't it? So now we know we need a plasma. And we drop in. And I'm actually not going to do it on this character. I'm going to do it on a different one, because his role is something special. So, access inventory. This is where alts become very useful. I want a plasma. I'm going to give it to my alt, Century 21,000. I'm going to load that up. And do the same thing again. Pull up my agency, but now I know where I'm looking for. So it's only plasma. It's the one next door. Wait a second. Did I do what? Oh, 76. Haha. And Undak. And we're going to MSG. Some great names in the pockets here. And away we go. So, I have some extra infographics that I'm going to post up #soon that are going to talk about the complete systems and how to set these up and do these things. In the case for strip mining, the whole idea is to have at least one, if not more, maximum extractors running through maximum efficiency refiners over the course of a 24-hour period. So with that in mind, we're going to go and zip over to the structure. Pull up our agency. So we need to build a command center. Now, another big benefit of doing it this way is you only have to upgrade these to 4, and you've got more than enough, especially on a thick planet like this. Okay, so for this one, we're going to start with the extractor. We're then going to build 8 basics. And then a launch pad. And I could do these cleaner and more neat, but that's okay. And submit. And then go to your extractor. We want all the things. Noble metals for a couple of days. Make sure there's no overlaps. And good enough. And start extraction. Yep, not rooted. I know. So, create roots. Oh, nope. So, got to create the patterns first. So this is going to be making precious metals and route it to the exit, and then do the same thing, precious metals, route it to the exit. Submit, and then I got to route the inputs. Easy enough. Another easy key. You'll see how as these things are setting up, they turn orange. That means they've got all of their stuff in a row. They've got inputs coming in, the right inputs coming in, and the right outputs are going out. So with the exception of the extractor, that will let you know that you have all your stuff set up when all of these red things go away. And that's it. You've now set up your first strip miner. They're incredibly fast. They're incredibly simple. So now we want to save this as a template. This is a plasma. Strip mine that's extracting precious metal. Easy peasy. And you could then share it out and send it around. So, got precious metal out of the way. The next thing for biocells was biofuels. So we come down to biofuels, and it says it needs carbon compounds from either barren, ocean, or temperate. So close this. Now we need barren, ocean, or temperate. And we're looking for carbon compounds. 74 is really good. 63, 69. It looks like 68 is going to be mid-high 60s. Ooh, and 82 from a temperate. Perfect. So we're going to zip back to where we were. Pick up a temperate, or was that a temperate or an ocean? Temperate or ocean? What'd you see? Temperate. So we'll get a temperate, and we're going to plan to go right there. We've got some newts. Oh, that's not good. Wonder if these are ES guys. Also should have had all of that minimized. Sorry, folks. Thought I had done that already on everything. Probably have to redo that every time I switch then. Shame on me. Okay, so now we need a temperate. Send that over. Put it in the command center. And away we go. However, now we have a problem. Because 78 is actually 2 jumps away. Womp womp. Good morning, Juris Hacker. Welcome. Okay, so we're going to recalibrate ourselves ever so slightly. And that one will work. So we're going to that place. In your planning, you basically want to try and keep everything as consolidated as possible. So the fewer number of total systems you have, the better off you're going to be in order to capture everything and put it all where it needs to go. So the way I do that is, and you almost saw me make a mistake, base everything 1 jump out of wherever my home system is to minimize how much hauling you got to do. Now, in the old days where we had factories, planets where the taxes were different, you behooved you to set your 1 jump from that spot. Now that everything's 1%, you don't have that problem. And this is going to be less than ideal. So let's get to a structure. We want to lay down a temperate. And we're going to scan. We're looking for carbon compounds. Now, let's see if this works, because I think... Oh, yep. We need to throw our command center down first, obviously. No, I must have. Oh, nope, nope, nope. It's not that. It's I didn't kill all my other PI beforehand. Froggy, froggy, froggy. So we got to kill off all of these. So, command center, destroy. Proceed, continue. So we'll trash out all of these old ones in the old pocket. Oh, you know why it's not working? It's because Froggy's stupid and I forgot something. So we're going to fix that right now. And this is also good. So I am not in this system. But what I needed to do is I needed to put a storage before the extractor. Because Froggy's an idiot, now I have to do that. What was I pulling out of here? Noble metal. So, slight mistake. Definitely rusty setting these things up, even though we just did it 6 months ago. So now we've got to route all of this to the storage dump and submit, and then we can route out of the storage dump to all of these places. Because you need a buffer, is what I was forgetting. Hey Froggy, how about you follow your own guides? Is it morning? Has everybody had their coffee? Okay, now submit. Now save. Actually, let's see. Can I delete? Yes. So I need to delete that one and save it new as it's a plasma, strip mine, precious metal. So now, where was that big one? Temperate 76. Okay. So, put down a... Let's go ahead and scan. Carbon compounds. This will do nicely. Build. Command center. Submit. And I haven't tried this before, so we'll cross our fingers and see if this works. I need to upgrade to 4s. Submit. Now, if this works, load. And we want it to get over here. Almost there. There we go. So drop that on there. Oh, you can drag and drop? Oh, I thought you had to use the sliders. Never mind then. Just drag and drop the whole damn thing. Okay. Piece of cake. So confirm and install. All right, so now I am making carbon compounds into, go back to our check again, biofuels. So I need to set all of these to biofuels. So, schematic, biofuels, create the route, schematic, biofuels, and create the route, and so on, and so on, etc. Submit all that. Okay, now we need, looking for carbon compounds. We want to do it for a couple of days. We want all 10. Start. Now we need to route that to the storage. And then we need to route this to all of the refineries. And just like that, submit. Let's go ahead and save this. This is a template. Biofuel. Or no, we want to strip mine. Biofuel. And save. And just like that, you go through and you build up, and you just walk your way down the list one at a time until you're making all of the things you need. So the next thing, nope, integrity response drones. Next thing we need is mechanical parts. So we go to mechanical parts, and we see it needs reactive and precious. So I've already got precious. The question is, do I have enough? The answer is going to be no. So in cases like this, you'll want to put down in your team another precious metal. So you want to be having strip miners, one strip mine to each of the inputs. But like I said, I'm not going to actually make you guys sit through all of that because I actually have all of the stuff locally to kind of fill this all out. So we're going to skip ahead. We're going to pretend, in the interest of time, that I've gone through and I've started all of the P1 extractors strip mines going. So the next thing is to take all of these P1s and start making P2s and P3s out of them. So the first step is to make P2s. So biocells, I need those precious metals and those biofuels that we had from the last one. And then mechanical parts need reactive metals and precious metals. So I've got 2 sets of precious metals coming in. Biofuel and reactive. So let's send him back first before we get lost in the sauce. So he goes back home. Zoom. Don't forget to hydrate, everyone. Drink your water. Have your breakfast. Enjoy these casual tunes while we're traveling. Alright, traveling's done. Almost. I don't even know why I have that extra blur layer if I've got my everything on the screen, but that's okay. So we'll go and park him. So he has a Baron Command Center, and I'm going to give him the feeder stuff that he's going to need to prime those P1, P2 conversions. So, go to item hanger. We know it had precious metals, so we're going to give him some precious metals. And we'll just give him 50,000 of those. We also know it had carbon compounds, which were biofuels. Or no, the biofuel, yeah, 25,000 of those. And what was the other thing? And reactive metals. So normally you won't have these. Normally you have to wait a couple of days to get your first string of stuff going in order to have these to prime your next set of factories. But because of the way the move op went down, we have these all set up and ready to just move right on to the next thing. So I'm going to load these up into my planetary commodities so that I've got them. I'm going to undock. And now, instead of looking for specific planets that have specific values, I'm just going to click on the barons. These are going to be what's called factory planets. And this is the first set of factory planets that I'm going to set up. So I'm going to give the wheel a spin. It doesn't really matter where, but give the wheel a spin anyways. And submit. And upgrade. Okay. So off of these, I want 2 strings and I want another launch pad and 2 strings. Connect them all. And submit. Now I got to go to the Skyhook. where's the skyhook? Is that you? Well, we got some folks out here causing trouble, so we're gonna wait a few seconds while the folks out here causing trouble do what they're gonna do. Meanwhile, I'm gonna make sure I'm going to the skyhook. Nope, that's a Metnox moon drill. I don't need to go to the moon drill. Where the heck is the skyhook? Do we not have skyhooks? Oh, come on. We gotta have the skyhooks up. Is that what you are? Stop that. No, you're a Feralix, aren't you? Yeah, you're a Cynobeacon. Alright, Juris, remind me how to figure out where the skyhook is. It's a heck of a lot easier when there were just Pokos everywhere. Okay. Still got bad guys floating around, so that's okay. We're on a hold anyways. See them through the agency, maybe? Yeah, agency planets. Just warp to location, it'll take me there. Okay. Important tip, everyone, you could just warp there. Alright. Come on. Once these bad guys go away. In the meantime, there's no reason not to keep setting up. So I got mechanical parts taken care of and biofuels taken care of. Next thing is miniature electronics, which needs silicon, which comes from lavas. Okay. So we'll dock him back up. Give that guy a lava. A lava. Also going to go ahead and give a Baron. Nope. To Frog. So while that's going on, let's go ahead and use him. Undock. And we're looking for lava planets only. And we wanted silicon, which comes from felsic magma. So looks like this is gonna be our guy, 59. So scan, Felsic Magma. Okay, perfect, thank you. Alright, so same thing as before. Command center. Yep. I didn't load it. That's what happened. I didn't put it in cargo. Derp a derp a derp. Gotta put it in cargo, Froggy. Alright, put that in the command centers and then try it. As you can see, I am not always the most efficient or the most practical and not the smartest bee, but it all kind of comes out in the wash. Go back to our scan of magma. And put in our command center. All right, we'll drop this in here. Let it build all the pins. Now we need to change all of these to silicone. And route. 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 Nope, nope, nope. Silicone. Route. Silicone. Route. Submit. This is Felsic Magma. Set it for a couple of days. Give me all 10 spots. Start. Route. And create the routes. And just like this, we have another one of these set up. Okay, we want to save this. This is a plasma. It's a strip mine, but it's not precious metal. It is silicon. And did the reds go away? Not quite. So we'll go to the next one. Miniature electronics needs non-chiral structures. Did I already put a plasma down in here? Let's find out. And he did. $53, $58. Oh, that's because I'm on the wrong character. Haha. Froggy, what are you doing? Lava and plasma. $39, $53. $57, $58, $66. I don't think I want that. I think this one will be just fine. So dock back up. So we're giving him a lava. And away we go. Slap down that lava that we wanted. And we're looking for CS crystals. Templates. And confirm. These all change to is it really chiral structures we were looking for? Did I lose my mind? No, it's chiral structures. And almost done with another planet. And just like that, another planet is operational. Alright, looks like that has cleared out, so let's go ahead and get this going. Alright, so we warped the Skyhook. And it behooves us to have all of everything open before we get there. So that as soon as we land, we can drop it and be on our way out. So this is an important tip to try and keep you safer. Because there's also NPC rats on these Skyhooks. So just like that, we have dropped our goodies. We're gonna zip back down to the planet. And we're gonna look at the launch. So let's remind ourselves what we were making. Biocells and mechanical parts. So biocells will be the first one, which is biofuels, and then precious metal. So I need to pull down to this one, biofuels at 25, precious metal. Transfer. And then all of these were going to be biocells. Install, and we route them back to the launch pad. Then we're going to route out of here the stuff. notice through all of that, I was only vulnerable for a handful of seconds as I was depositing in the skyhook. And that's really the risk points, is depositing in the skyhook and pulling out of the skyhooks. When you do those things, you're going to be vulnerable both to rats on the skyhooks, which, like I said, they're a thing, and you're going to be vulnerable to players catching you at the skyhooks. As we're doing this all in friendly space, those risks are going to be minimal. So this is very, very safe, very consistent passive income. So the same thing as before. I'm going to set up one of these planets for all of the P2s on that list. Nope. We gotta set. Oops. Don't do that, Froggy. Quit pressing buttons. So, BioCells. Install. Route it back. Ogami, welcome. Thank you for the resub. Always, everyone, shout out to Ogami. So, install. Route it back. Install, route it back. Oh, we're not making BioCells. Froggy. Almost caught myself. Second thing we're making is mechanical parts. So reactive metal and precious metal. Good catch, Froggy. Mechanical parts. And route it back. I was about to confuse myself greatly. Just like that. We have the first of our factories set up. So now, the question becomes, the first thing you saw me set up was a direct to P2 on a single planet versus this setup that you saw me do across several characters. That direct to P2 at most is going to put out 2 factories worth of P2s. This one is putting out 4 factories worth times 2 strings on 1 planet. So in terms of raw output and the potential ISK per unit time, strip mining is always the way to go. The flip side of that is more moving. You're going to move more those P1s to this P2. So that's your downside, your risk, is you're going to be hauling more. Okay, so now we've seen how to set up to P2s in 2 different ways. So now I'm going to show how to do the last step for the P4s. So, got a Baron Command Center. You can do these on Barons or Temperates, but Barons are more common on all of the planets, so just use the Barons. We're going to pretend that I set up all of the P0s to P1s for strip mining, and set up all of the P1 to P2s. Oh, actually, dock. Because I need to take the precursors. Okay. So, biocell, get rid of that. Don't need those markers. Gel matrix, so biocells, oxides, and superconductors. Biocells. Superconductors. And I think it was oxides. We're going to double check that. Yep, oxides, superconductors, and biocells. So we're going to take that and put it on our infrastructure hold. Next one is hazmat detection, polytextiles, transmitters, and viral agent. Polytextiles, transmitters, and viral agent. Again, normally you'd have to wait 3 to 5 days to have these coming out to prime your pumps, because I've had set this up before and it has run before. I already have these and I can just offload them. Last thing is planetary vehicles, mechanical parts, miniature electronics, super tensile plastics. Super tensile plastics, mechanical parts, and miniature electronics. Let's make sure we got everything. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Perfect. So we undock. Look for bad guys again. And again, the agency. Resource harvesting, planets, planetary industry. Stop. And we're going to set up. Give the wheel a spin. command centers. For your final planets, you're going to want to go ahead and upgrade to all the way. You need a launch pad. This is the outgoing launch pad. It's going to have 2 high-tech factories attached to it. Create the links. In these, we're making integrator response drones. And it's going to route back to the launch pad. And integrity response drones. It's going to route back to the launch pad. And we need, off of each of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to link all of these to the launch pad. Okay, so these are going to be, we remember, right? First one we're going to do is planetary vehicles. Oh, actually, did I screw it up? I may have screwed that one up. Let's double check. No, that's right. Planetary vehicles. And we're going to route it to the output launch pad. Okay, we got planetary vehicles. Next one was hazmat detectors. So, hazmat detectors. And the last one was gel matrix biopaste. Finally, we need 2 input launch pads. Okay, got that up. We're gonna wait for the bad guys to pee away in the meantime. Put out the next one of these. So we've got I think miniature electronics is our next one. Yeah. So silicone and chiral structures again. I'm detecting a theme. How about you, chat? so miniature electronics is magma and crystals. Those will do. So 2 more lavas. Alright, looks like the bats are still around. Let's not say we did. Okay, so scan, magma. That'll be fine. And we need... I think we've already got one of these. Yeah, except it was on plasma, but that's okay. It'll still work just the same. Where the hell did my home base go? Didn't I put it right here somewhere? Yeah, it's a smiley face planet. It does happen. It doesn't matter. This will be fine. It's fine. Do it live. Submit. And a couple of days. Yay. For even more crystals coming out. And all done. So now we save as this, except now it's lava. Strip mine silicone. Piece of cake. That was quick. And then this one, we're actually looking for more of these damn crystals. Okay, so open templates. Confirm. This time we're making structures. All right. Easy enough. And you kind of get the idea of kind of the times involved. The more characters, the more planets, the more planets, the more time, etc., etc., etc. I said submit. They're all routed. What is your malfunction here? Submit. Just do it. Oh, because clearly I'm on the wrong thing. What am I supposed to be doing? Non-CS crystals. And I'm looking at non-CS crystals. Oof. All right. Open templates. Confirm. And submit. But I want to change all of these. To the chiral structures. Okay, you get the idea. Get through the last of this. Hopefully the bad guys will have cleared out of the pocket. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why I wouldn't do that before. Set it for a couple of days. Stop, Froggy. Quit clicking on everything. Goodness. Create route to that. Thank you. And cement. And there's another planet down. Let's see. Okay, those guys have gone away. Same thing as before. We're going to quick drop this. Open this back up. This needs half of everything. Oh, don't dock, frick. Ah, Froggy, Froggy, Froggy. In the world are you doing? Undock. Okay. Let's try that again, shall we? If I could quit clicking on everything. You want to move down all of the things. Okay, so now we got a route. So orange, gear, green. Create route to there. Create route to there. And then gears. Create route to there. Create route to there. And then orange. Create route to there. Create route to there. Next one. Transmitters, bio, poly. Transmitters, create route. Create route. And then we needed the bio, the viral agent, create route. And then the gray cloth, poly. And then the last ones are going to be the ones that are left at 500. So bio, create route, create route, oxides, create route, oxides, create route, and superconductors, create route. And then do it again on the other side. So this is orange, gears, and superconductors, or miniature electronics. Stop, Frog. You can see that I am losing focus because I can't click on the right things anymore. All right, next one is transmitters, bio, and gray cloth. Transmitter. Transmitter. Viral. Viral. And gray cloth. And last but not least, biocells, biocells, oxides, nope, and then superconductors. And just like that, that is all the steps to go from P0 to P4s. The rest is just filling in your gaps and then maintaining inventory. So basically you want to keep it so that all of these hoppers maintain a day or two's worth of stuff. The way you do that is you let it keep pulling in, and pretty soon you'll be able to see where you've got shortfalls and where you're overproducing, and you can fine tune. Okay, I need another of this planet pulling this kind of structure, and I need another of this planet pulling this kind of structure. Things like that. So that's all there is to it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. And I can lie to you and make up stories and tell you why it's your fault that you're not working. I'm teasing, of course. But expect to start tweaking, balancing, moderating things to get exactly what you need going. So you watch me put together about 2/3 of it in about 2 hours. So I'm going to have to go back and fill in the missing P0 planets to keep my systems running, but you get the idea. So I'm going to call it, and I'm going to send us off to somewhere else. So everybody hold on to your butts. And I hope you've had a good morning watching me set up PI. I end up doing this every couple of years or couple of months, it seems like. So don't get discouraged, and with the use of these templates, it will be so much faster and easier for you. So let's go. Here's somebody in Pochfin. Let's go bother them in Pochfin. It looks like they're in English. Perfect. And we'll see you again next time.